Hi, my name is Sophia Wren, and I am an intuitive coach and a writer, and many other things. And today we're going to be talking about the problems of labeling, which is something that I have experienced so much, especially when it comes to my spirituality. I've always felt like there's this thing I need to do, which is explain myself to other people or be accepted. And I think it's something that a lot of other people go through. If they don't identify as a certain one thing, they kind of feel a need to pick a box. And I know there's a lot of people out there who aren't the boxy kind. And for me personally, for a long time, I was just exploring. And it was really important for me to feel like I had somewhere I fit in. And I tried going to regular church with some friends, and it just didn't quite hit it for me. I was always looking for more about Mary or something more inspirational for a woman's perspective, and that was missing in the Bible. That's just my personal take on it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to defend anyone. But I needed that because when I was young, I lost my mother. So it was very important to have female role models. And so I went looking into other avenues. And I wasn't in a place where I was labeling myself. It was other people who were having reaction to the kind of books I was picking up. As if staging ahead of time, being like, well, you don't want people to see this because they're going to label you as a witch. And I'm not sure which happened first, if people started actually doing that or someone warned me that might happen. But one way or another, I did start to pick up on the fear in the things I was reading on the internet. I call this hooking into fear consciousness. So other people might have been upset and had certain beliefs about whether people who call themselves pagan or Wiccan or any of those things are rejected by people in society, could get beaten up or any of those things. But I wasn't even identifying as that. I was just curious and interested, and I liked some of the main ideas, like that you can create your own reality and that you can send energy to people for healing, and you can be in touch with nature and gain information through inner work, and you can have a goddess and a god, or many, and that was cool. Yeah, but I didn't like the label, especially when people slapped it on me with negative tone or, not being nice about it. So I actually just stopped everything. I just was no longer a spiritual person. And it wasn't until actually about 10 years later that a lot of things started blooming for me, my creativity, my personal passions, my own desires, and everything like that I let myself have my spirituality back. And even then, I kind of went the other way, the opposite, where I got very, very, very attached to the word and to putting out the word and calling myself that and being accepted. And I did that in a short story I wrote, which was called How I Became a Witch and a Writer. And it was really, really well received. Really thankful that a lot of people read it and gave me great feedback about it, that I inspired them with my courage, my honesty, my vulnerability. And I can see that that's something that I really enjoy doing, is being honest and vulnerable and telling the truth. And it's not really about the words or the story. It's just about the connection. And as far as the labels go for my spiritual path, I see that the word spiritual is a much better word, because being in touch with your spirit as much as possible feels great. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to do that for the rest of my life. It's when we get into the other layers, like soul, desire, passion, those are different layers of it. So if you call yourself this tradition or that tradition, or I'm a goddess, or I'm a witch, or I'm a mermaid, or any of those things, you're just getting one layer of the whole picture, whole hologram, you know. And it might be empowering for you based on who you are and what your path has been, and all those things. And especially when we have something that we need to heal, we often get very attached to a layer in order to get the healing we need from it. And sometimes we feel so afraid of rejection and acceptance that we get really, really attached to it and put it out there. And then once it's out there, it's not really that big a deal anymore. It's not, it could be still present in our life, but maybe it's not our one defining trait anymore. So it's good to know that, because, you know, I actually went into a program where I wanted to become a Wiccan high priestess, and it's a Sacred Mist online college, and I've learned a lot from it, but I wouldn't say at the end of this that I feel like I am officially a Wiccan. I feel like I'm a spiritual person, and more, maybe even more well-rounded than I was when I began in being everything. So, you know, I go to a Unitarian Universalist church often to meet some friends, and we have some nice ceremonies there. And I like the church, but it's not a defining feature of who I am. And so just wanted to put that out there if you're worried about how you identify and how people might take it, because in the long run, what you're really looking for is just to be accepted as an equal. And that really doesn't have to do with how you label yourself, because all labels are cutting off something. Alright, so that was just a little note to put out there, and I just wanted to let you know if you're worried about, you know, I just made some videos about a lot of people have a fear of a witch trial in a past life and everything like that, and people might get confused, like, what does that mean about me? Just want to let you know that it doesn't really matter. It's just important to let your fears go. And if you like this, you can go ahead and check out that video, and there's an explanation one